Welcome to Cooler Talk, sports fans. I got a great segment for you today called Built to Last, setting yourself up after your pro career is over. As we know, some athletes are really good at that and others are just not. We got a recent epidemic of just bankruptcies all over the place from pro athletes that had made a ton of money. So joining us is Mike Minter. He's a standout at Nebraska, played for the Carolina Panthers for 10 years. He's going to talk a little bit about that subject. We're going to conference him in. So join me for this. Mike Minter, welcome to the program. It's Vince with Cooler Talk.
How you doing, sir?
I am doing good. Doing good. I want to thank you first and foremost for taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Absolutely.
Got a couple questions for you. I'm doing a little segment on my sports show called Built to Last. For a while I was kind of keeping a note on former NFL players, former professional athletes that have done well. Everybody talks about you guys have an average career of 4 years in the NFL. Some are cut shorter, some last longer. I guess what I want to ask you, with everything going on, you see a lot of epidemics with bankruptcies, for people that have been in the leagues for a long time, 10, 15 years. How is it possible that you make so much money and then you get out of the game? And what happens? And better yet, how do you do what you did? You seem to have got it all together. So I kind of want to pick your brain about that, Mike, if you got the time.
Okay, absolutely. You ready to talk about that?
Yes, I'm ready.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I really believe when you begin, and people from the outside probably don't get this. So what happens is that you get all this money, and yet you're going to have those who just blow through their money, right? So you're going to have that, okay? So let's take that percentage and put that to the side, okay? Because now you're just talking about people who just being done with their money and just spending it and all that. Then you have this other group. This other group is guys who get out the league, but their income has stopped, but their expenses that they have accumulated through the lifestyle that we live is still up. Okay?
Okay.
And so what happens is that about really not enough money that you can make that you can just stop working, okay, and live off of the money that you put, that you had put away. Okay, you have to do something. And so what happens is that the expenses are high. You don't really have the job or the ability to replace that income that you was making in the National Football League, and so you start eating off your nest egg.
Okay.
And so every year, your nest egg is going down. Okay? And so, and you can't really stop it because really most of the guys don't buy everything. So they get loans.
Okay.
So you leverage. And so you're using the leverage thing. And so what happens is once the money runs out, and you have no way to pay the loans, then all of a sudden you have to file for bankruptcy because of that. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't think I don't think guys are being ignorant with their money when things like that happen. I just really believe that we have a false sense of security because we think that, oh man, I done made $10 million, and that false sense of security is $10 million can take me a long way for the rest of my life if I invest it right, and so on and so forth. But what we don't do is we don't start. See, if I was to do it over again, what I would do is I would say, okay, how do I need to live when I'm done? And I would start with that. And then my expenses, no matter how much money I was making, my expenses would never, ever go over that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna cheat.
So,
I'm gonna cheat just a little bit here, Mike. I actually have your book in front of me, and what it looks like it's saying it's driven by a purpose. Now, how important is it? It looks like it's very important to have a purpose for other things, for bigger things. I mean, is this an advice you would give to all the basically overnight millionaires that you saw over the draft? Would you say you have to have a purpose, a bigger purpose? To something to strive for, something to work for, it seems like, after the NFL?
Yes, have to, okay, because your life doesn't stop when you get out the NFL, right? You're going to be a young guy. Most cases, you're going to be a young guy. I should say in all cases, you're going to be a young guy when you retire, and your life hasn't stopped. So you're going to continue to move forward for another, 40 to 60 years. You're going to continue to gotta live. So your purpose has to be bigger than just the National Football League. See, what we've given, this dream that we've given is saying, hey, we make the National Football League, your life is great. And at the end of it, you reach the ultimate dream, so you don't have to worry about nothing else. Well, we all know that don't happen, right? So there's going to be worries after that. So to your point, you have to have a purpose that's way bigger than the National Football League. And the National Football League is only a stepping stone towards reaching that ultimate purpose that you have in your life.
That makes a lot of sense, Mike. I definitely appreciate your insight there. And you just said it's not exactly like a dream, because you got guys, I mean, you talked about in your book, their lives, not everybody's life turns out to be, fine and dandy, living the dream, because a lot of guys, it seems like, you make one bad decision here, one bad decision there, and all of a sudden, I mean, some people, you don't go from just being cut. I mean, some people end up in jail. You get a lot of money, and it seems like, the wrong influences get around you, and next thing you know, your career's tumbling down. So, but you yourself, you seem to have, I mean, you have a construction company, a consulting firm. I mean, you're involved in all these enterprises, and you're building the brand, and it's definitely, I notice things like that. I'm sure other people try to model, themselves around you. So what would you say, Mike, if you could speak to a group of rookies? I mean, is there programs, when you get drafted where they teach you about maybe investments? I mean, what would you say in a room full of rookies in the NFL that got drafted, got these contracts? What would be your advice to them, Mike?
Right. Well, let me say the NFL does have programs and have all the information out there to help, right? Mm-hmm. So they're doing a great job with that. Well, the problem is, here goes what I think the problem is. The problem is you just gave me, $1 million+, man. I'm smart. I'm good. I don't really, even though you're giving me the information, I'm good. I don't need it, right? So that's where you come into guys not really paying attention to that, right? Yeah. And so what I would tell guys is this. Listen, first of all, the NFL is nothing but a stepping stone towards your true purpose. Okay, that's all it is. So don't look at it as the ultimate. Don't look at it as the end of the road. It is only a stepping stone. So begin to use it as that. Exactly. But here's the contradicting part to this, right? Contradicting part is when you come into the National Football League, they tell you better live, sleep, and eat football. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what they're telling you. So you're doing that, right? When that's not that's not the end of the road. But when you do that, you pour your whole life into it. Mm-hmm. Then what else are you building? You're not building anything else. You can't.
And then when football's done, you're like, what do I do now? That's all it was about. Interesting.
Right, and it's tough. And so what happens is that when guys start to get to at the end of their career, all of a sudden they start thinking about, okay, I can't play this game anymore. I need to start thinking about something else, right? Yeah. So some guys get out and they start business like myself, but we're going to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? I didn't go to business school. Yeah. Guess what? I wasn't, 24 years old when I started in business. And so all the mistakes that everybody else makes with no money, yeah, our mistakes are multiplied because we have money.
Yeah, exactly. You see,
yeah. So everybody making mistakes. So everybody is out there. I mean, you, everybody else, everybody's making mistakes.
Hey, I make a ton of them. I'll be the first to say that.
Exactly. And I do too. And so the difference becomes your mistake might cost you $5, but my mistake gonna cost me $1 million because I had it.
I got you, man. Hey, how excited are you? You're coaching now, right? You're a special teams coordinator down at Liberty. How are you excited about that? I mean, you're back in football. You're around young people. You inspiring people down there. How cool is that?
Man, I love it. I tell you this. I got into coaching from I got into high school coaching first. Head coach there in high school, won state championships. And then I decided I wanted to get into the college game just to, take my talents to the next phase. And man, it has been a great experience to, one, give these guys the knowledge of how to play the game and how to get to the next level. And then, being there at Liberty University, with Turner Gill has been tremendous. And now I'm a special teams coordinator there. And so I get, hey, I'm having fun coordinating. I get a chance to coach the offense and the defense, basically, on special teams. And it's been a great experience so far. And as I move on, of course, I want to become a head coach. And I gave myself 5 years to make that happen. And so, we'll continue down this trail until I become a head coach on the college ranks.
Hey, man, and with your determination, I have no doubt that you can make it. Or I mean, if somebody else starts getting, I mean, put you in a room with a couple other guys, and then what do you say? Hey, I'll beat out the competition, right? You'll be better than, according to your book, man.
That's right.
Well, hey, Mike, I wanted to thank you, man, for for coming on and sharing your insight. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Of course, folks, you guys know Mike Minter's book. Go out and get it. Driven by Purpose: The Power of a Dream. Mike's involved heavily in the Charlotte community. He's got his enterprises. You do motivational speaking as well. I mean, it's a good thing, Mike. And hey, thanks a lot, man, and good luck to you down there. I'm keeping an eye on you down at Liberty, man.
All right, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.